Back now, 7:42 with Brad Pitt breaking his silence, speaking out for the first time about his split from Angelina Jolie.
Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were once considered Hollywood's most powerful couple. However, their relationship faced an 8-year separation filled with legal battles and family tensions. In May 2025, after years of turmoil, Brad spoke out in a rare interview. He revealed that he had been trying for 20 years to make a racing movie, but faced many obstacles. Brad met Angelina in 2003 while they filmed Mr. and Mrs. Smith. At that time, Brad was still married to Jennifer Aniston, and Angelina had just divorced Billy Bob Thornton. Rumors about their affair spread during filming, leading to intense media scrutiny. After Brad and Jennifer divorced in 2005, Brad and Angelina were seen in Kenya with Maddox, Angelina's adopted son. This moment gave rise to the nickname Brangelina. Over the next 10 years, they became one of the most followed couples worldwide. They adopted 3 children from various countries: Maddox from Cambodia, Zahara from Ethiopia, and Pax from Vietnam. They also had 3 biological children: Shiloh, born in 2006, and twins Knox and Vivian, born in 2008. Their diverse family gained them a reputation as Hollywood's model global family. In 2008, they bought Chateau Miraval in France for $28 million. This estate served as a vacation home and the birthplace of their Miraval wine label. After 6 years, in August 2014, Brad and Angelina held a private wedding ceremony there, attended only by close friends and their 6 children. This happiness did not last. On September 19, 2016, just 2 years after their wedding, Angelina filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. Reports emerged about an incident during a flight from France to the U.S. Allegedly, Brad became violent after drinking. He reportedly had a verbal argument with Angelina and grabbed their son Maddox by the neck. Some sources claimed Angelina tried to intervene. The FBI investigated the incident since it occurred in international airspace. The Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services also became involved. After reviewing the case, both agencies found no evidence for criminal charges. Angelina chose not to pursue further investigation. This incident created a media storm and marked the end of their relationship and the Brangelina image. Behind the allegations and their diverging paths, a growing divide developed between them and their children. The custody war that tore the family apart. Kids choose sides in bitter battle. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's custody battle began in 2016 after Angelina filed for divorce. The court gave her primary custody of their 6 children, while Brad could only visit them under supervision. This led to a lengthy conflict that harmed the father-child relationships. Maddox, their oldest son, distanced himself from Brad. In 2021, he testified in court that he no longer considers Brad his father. Reports suggest he wanted to change his name to Maddox Jolie. Pax, the second son, was even more vocal, calling Brad an awful person on social media, raising concerns about the emotional impact on the children. Pax also faced emotional issues after 2 traffic accidents in 2023 and 2024. In 2024, Shiloh requested to change her name to Shiloh Jolie, which the media viewed as a sign of support for Angelina. The twins, Knox and Vivian, have stayed mostly out of the spotlight. Vivian used the name Jolie when working on a project. Throughout the dispute, Brad did not speak publicly, but sought family therapy, which did not last. In 2018, the court warned Angelina that she could lose custody if she did not help Brad build relationships with the kids. When a 2021 ruling allowed Brad to share custody, Angelina requested a new judge, which paused the process. The final divorce agreement was signed in December 2024, but the custody details remain undisclosed. Analysts believe the children mainly live with Angelina, affecting their emotional well-being. The long divorce has extended beyond family ties, possibly shaping how the children trust and love in the future. The family bond has weakened significantly. The Miraval War, $500 million battle over wine empire and broken promises. Chateau Miraval is located in Provence, France. It was the home of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and represented their relationship. The couple bought the estate in 2008 for about $28 million. Brad initially owned 60% of the shares, while Angelina owned 40%. After their marriage, he transferred 10% of his shares to her, making their ownership equal. Miraval was not just their wedding venue in 2014, It also became a successful winery. From 2012 to 2020, their rosé wine brand earned tens of millions in profits. After Angelina filed for divorce, conflict arose over their shared assets. In 2021, she sold her share of Miraval to Tenuta del Mundo, owned by Russian billionaire Yuri Shefler, without telling Brad. He then sued Angelina, claiming she broke a verbal agreement that said neither could sell their shares without the other's consent. Angelina said Brad pressured her to sign a non-disclosure agreement before the sale. The lawsuit became complicated. Brad argued that her sale forced him to work with an unfriendly partner, while Angelina maintained she had the legal right to sell. As of June 2025, the case was still unresolved. Brad wanted to regain control of Miraval, which is now valued at around $500 million. Tenuta del Mundo said they plan to invest more in the brand. Experts see this as one of the most complex disputes between Hollywood stars after a divorce, mixing personal and business interests. After years in court, Brad spoke publicly for the first time in May 2025, capturing Hollywood's attention. Brad's shocking confessions: sobriety, regrets, and life after Brangelina. On May 28, 2025, Brad Pitt appeared on the cover of GQ for the first time in 8 years after Angelina Jolie filed for divorce. He shared that he finalized the divorce in December 2024 and called it something that needed to be done. He also stated, "No, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just something that was legally completed." When asked why he had stayed silent for so long, Brad said, "I didn't see the point of speaking up when everything was in chaos. I thought it was best to stay quiet." Silence is also a way not to make things worse. This differed from Jolie's public actions during the divorce, where she took the lead in legal matters and media coverage. Brad mainly had kept quiet, appearing only in legal documents and paparazzi photos. Regarding his relationship with his children, Brad acknowledged some distance but said, "I think that can change or not, but I'm always here if they need their father." He did not mention specific names, stating, "No one gets married thinking their kids will turn their backs on them, but I don't think we should blame anyone. What happened, happened." Brad also shared that he has been sober since 2016 and now enjoys a quiet life with meditation, reading, and sculpting. He said, "After 3 decades in the spotlight, I want to step back. I'm tired of being torn apart in the media for things I've never been allowed to tell from my side." Although Angelina Jolie didn't respond directly, sources close to her said she felt relieved that Brad recognized the divorce was over. These sources added that she is focused on her children and her work on the Broadway production The Outsiders, where her daughter Vivian is a production assistant. Reactions to Brad's interview were mixed. Some people thought he seemed clear-headed, while others felt he avoided responsibility as a parent. Brad has finally spoken out and begins a new life away from the spotlight, conflict, and his former family. Brad's comeback and Angelina's focus post-divorce. After the storm, Brad Pitt is still a key figure in Hollywood. He runs Plan B Entertainment, the production company he co-founded. Plan B has produced several Oscar-winning films, including 12 Years an Enslaved Person and Moonlight. Brad's next project is a Formula One-themed film with Lewis Hamilton, set to release in 2025. This film will mark his return to major action roles. Brad is now more careful about the roles he chooses. He has moved from the charismatic roles he often played to more thoughtful characters in films like Ad Astra and Babylon. In his personal life, Brad is dating Swiss jewelry designer Inez de Ramon. It is rumored that he proposed in early 2025, and they plan a private wedding. He prefers a quiet life at his Santa Barbara home, where he enjoys sculpting and gardening. Angelina Jolie still plays an active role in Hollywood as a director and humanitarian. She recently produced The Outsiders on Broadway, with her daughter Vivian as a creative assistant. In recent years, Angelina has focused more on directing, with films like Unbroken and First They Killed My Father. Although she thought about leaving the US after her divorce, she chose to stay for the sake of her children. Brad and Angelina have been quiet in 2025, suggesting that many of their disputes have been settled. However, there are still concerns about Brad's relationship with his children. Angelina has not shared updates about the family since 2024. Shiloh goes by a new name. Pax has left social media, and Maddox, who studies in South Korea, has not been seen with Brad since 2016. This suggests a significant distance between them. After being silent for 8 years, Brad finally spoke once. seeking closure on a tough time in Hollywood. What are your thoughts on their journeys and what they have gained or lost?